Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm out in the Peak District. Me and Molly have come for a walk. We're heading out to Higher Shelfstones and Bleaklow Head, two of only 4 peaks in the Peak District that are over 600 metres. We're also going to investigate the B-29 overexposed crash site, which is where a US bomber crashed. It's something that I've always meant to go and see, but never have done, even living this close to the Peak District as I have all my life. So come out today. I've brought the X100F and I'm only going to be shooting black and white on there using one of my film simulations, and I've also brought my Canon A-1 and I've got a roll of Ilford HP5 in there, so just filming in black, just shooting in black and white today, sorry. And yeah, figured we'd see what we can get. It's a little bit overcast, but the sun does seem to be trying to come through, so we might be able to get some nice punchy high contrast stuff. But yeah, we're out here now. I've just ducked down and recorded while I'm out of the wind because it is quite windy today. So yeah, let's see how we get on. Okay then guys, so when I got back to the car I realised that I'd actually only shot half of my roll of HP5. So we're back a couple of days later and I'm out in Snake Woodlands with Adam, who you've seen before. And yeah, I'm just going to finish off this roll, do some more shooting with the X100V. So yeah, so it's a much brighter day, as you can see. So yeah, hopefully going to definitely get some punchy high contrast images today. Didn't get quite as many as I thought when we went out to Higher Shelfstones. But yeah, so bringing you along today. Adam's doing a video as well, so I'll make sure that I'll link that in the description down below. So there we go, 2 different trips out, 2 different cameras, 2 different styles of photography. But they both give me the same thing, which is just that fun of photography and going out and shooting for myself. Now they both do it in 2 different ways. With the Fuji, that gives me that whole, as I've mentioned about in other videos, go out, take an image, don't put it onto my computer, just send it straight to my phone, don't edit it, use the simulations on the camera, and I've got those images straight away. I can just enjoy taking the images and then having the images with nothing in between. With film, it's completely different. It's about taking my time, getting back to the practice of photography, taking my time to make sure that I'm composing, making sure that I'm getting the exposure as good as I possibly can. But they both bring that enjoyment of photography, which when you do it as a job is really, really important. It's important to make sure that you still enjoy going out and taking photos. And both of these do this in completely different ways. I can't pick one over the other unless it's for something in particular. So if I am going out with no idea whether or not I'm going to get anything, no idea what the weather conditions are going to be like, I'll take the Fuji because it's much more versatile. And if I shoot 2 images, I don't need to then worry about when am I going to shoot the rest of this roll like I would with film. However, if I'm wanting to go out, say, into the city or go out for a walk or do something where I really want to make sure that I take time to look for images and find images and take those images. If I've got an idea of sort of roughly what the lighting's going to be like, I would definitely go out and shoot film, and I do still do that. I mentioned in my video about the X100V when I first got it that I was shooting film far too much and that I needed to cut back on that. And that's absolutely something that I have done. I've shot, so what we're into May now, and I've shot maybe 8 or 9 rolls for myself so far this year, that's it. So I have definitely cut back, but I'm still going to be going out and shooting film, especially things like black and white. In terms of actually how they compare against each other when it comes down to the images, again, they're completely different. Now, a lot of that is down to the fact that I've put Ilford HP5 up against one of my film simulations that's closer to like a Kodak Tri-X. What I will do is at the end of this video I will put the settings for that film simulation on the screen for you so that you can try that out at home. As you've seen from the images, it's really, really punchy. It's got those crunchy blacks, and I really like the look that it gives. It does give a similar look to HP5, but only when you get the exposure right. And in far too many of the images that I took on these two trips out, I didn't get the exposure quite right. And when you overexpose, even if it's only slightly, the images do have a tendency to not wash out, but definitely be sort of more into darker greys than blacks. Now, for some images, like these 2 that I'm going to put on the screen now, I think that really, really works, and I really like how these look because of that. But there's no doubt in that when you get the exposure right with HP5, like on these images, you get those crunchy blacks, that real high contrast, and dynamic lighting can really help that, but you still need to make sure that you get that exposure right. So that's something that I do still find that I'd really have to work on with black and white, because I feel that it's much more prevalent in black and white film photography than in colour film photography. If you don't get that exposure right, it's much more noticeable, I feel, with black and white. As with the Fuji, as I've said before, I really love this camera. I love the freedom that it gives me, and I love the fact that I can literally just put this film simulation on, go out, shoot in black and white all day. I can use the optical viewfinder if I want to, or I can use the EVF, and with the EVF I'm going to see exactly what those images are going to look like. But yeah, it's horses for courses. Some days I'm going to want to take the film camera out, some days I'm going to want to take the Fuji out, some days I'm going to take both out. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope that you've enjoyed looking at the difference in the black and white on the Fuji and the black and white on the A-1. Let me know which were your favourite in the comments. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.